What's going on, YouTube? I'm back again. And in case you didn't notice, or maybe you did, I've been gone for a little while. I've been trying to consistently stream and consistently post content, and I ended up catching a cold. And then I hurt my back doing very stupid things. So I was in bed for like a few days, and it hurt, and I couldn't move because it hurt. So that was fun. But I've returned. And today I've decided to make a video for some reason. Because that's what you do on YouTube, I guess. Oh, I'm ridiculous sometimes, I think. Anyway, this is a topic that I've been wanting to discuss for a little while now. Probably 2-3 months. I just haven't found the time to sit down and really get my thoughts together. And I don't think my thoughts are really still together. But we're going to try it out. I've never been the type to plan something out to a T, write a script or anything. So all of this is just off the top of the dome, whatever I'm thinking in the moment. So if it gets kind of hard to follow, hopefully it won't. Just leave a comment. Tell me that I suck, or I should shut up, or my voice is annoying, or whatever you want to say. Or maybe you just want to say, hey man, thanks for the video. That's great. That'd be cool too. But anyway, before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, turn on your notifications. That way you know whenever I drop a video or whenever I'm live streaming. So let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about what it is about flight sims that appeals to me and why I think more people should be playing them. A little bit of background on me. I started playing flight sims back in like 1997 or 98 when I was like 12 or 13. My brother-in-law had a computer, and I got Jane's World War II fighters on that. That was the first time I've ever played a flight sim. And if any of you remember 1998, the graphics weren't all that amazing, and there wasn't all this fancy looking around with a head tracker thing or anything like that. You just used your hat switch and everything like that. But it was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen in my life before. I was scared, so scared of flying. But this gave me the opportunity to get up in a plane and fly around and try to land and fail or get shot down, and nothing happened to me. So I thought that was amazing. Plus, like, for 1998, the graphics were freaking awesome. And then I moved on into the Microsoft Combat Flight Simulators, especially the the Pacific one. I thought that was great. Combat Flight Simulator 2. I don't think another simulator has come out over World War II aircraft in the Pacific Theater, which kind of hurts my feelings, but maybe one day. They seem the IL-2 series. They seem kind of focused on Eastern Europe and the European campaign, and DCS kind of is really focused on jets and stuff, and that's cool. Like, take your jets. I'll take my World War II fighters any day, even though Falcon 4.0 is pretty awesome. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Moving on. So once I left home, I joined the army. I didn't have the money to buy myself a computer. I didn't have a computer when I was a kid. My brother-in-law had one, but I wanted one. So it took me a little while of saving up and trying to prioritize until I got a computer. And when I finally bought myself a gaming computer, it was in 2011. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had computers before that, and I played things, IL-2, the original series, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004, Microsoft Flight Simulator X. I even tried out X-Plane. It wasn't really my cup of tea. But in 2011, I upgraded to a regular computer, like my own personal gaming computer. And one of the first games I got was IL-2 Cliffs of Dover. And when I first booted that thing up, I was like, what is this? Why is it so horrible? I have a pretty decent rig right now. I should be able to play this. And most people experience that. But Team Fusion came along a couple years later. I put it down for a couple years, and there weren't any other flight simulators on the market. There was, IL-2 1946, but to me, there wasn't. It wasn't historic. There wasn't a historic mesh to it. Not like Battle of Stalingrad or Cliffs of Dover. There wasn't a historical accuracy to it because I could in 1946 I could hop in a P-51 against a Zero over Normandy, and that was the thing that happened, which is cool. But I'm more of a historically accurate type of person. That's why I like Cliffs of Dover so much. That's why I like the Battle of Stalingrad or the Battle of Moscow so much, because those planes are specific to those theaters and to that time that all that was going on. So that really interests me. So my love of flight simulators come from a long, long time ago. Probably about 20 years ago now. 1998. It is 20 years ago, isn't it? It's 2018. So the appeal of it to me is not just, flying around having dogfights. Once you start getting into the simulator portion of it, like there's so many different aspects to learn. The biggest challenge most people have, especially when they start Cliffs of Dover, is just starting the aircraft up. I mean, learning the sequence that you need to have to start the damn thing up and what button you need to press to get the propeller going. And that's tough. But once you start it up on your own the first time, you feel a sense of accomplishment. And that's what draws me to these games. Once you take off down the runway and you finally figured out how much rudder input you need to give the plane, or when is a safe speed to like pull back on the stick, or don't hold on to this to hold the aircraft on the ground for too long or it's going to flip over. That gives you a sense of accomplishment that you don't get in a lot of different games like that are just mind numbing, run around, shoot 'em up, whatever. In these flight simulators, you're not only fighting, but you're controlling every aspect of the aircraft that you're flying. Even when you get off the ground, it becomes a whole new arena where you have to manage your engines and temperatures, watch what your propeller pitch is doing, watch how far your radiators are open, you know, figuring out what altitudes I can run what settings at to maximize my capabilities in this aircraft without blowing up the engine. That's fun to me anyway. That gives you're not only playing a game but you're thinking at the same time. So it's not mind numbing. And then you get into the air, and most people, I say most people, I don't know most people, but I figure some people get turned off that once they figure out how to do all this stuff and they spend so many hours getting up into the air and figuring out how to turn the thing on and flying, they get up on a multiplayer server and within 5 minutes, all of a sudden they're dead. And they never even saw it coming. That's part of the fun of it though. That's part of the realism aspect of it that just makes these flight sims so just terrifying and beautiful and frustrating and just all that rolled into one. I mean, I've gotten frustrated with these games. I'm never playing this game again because there's just so much to learn. And once you think you got one thing learned, the next thing comes along that you have to learn that. And then that's a brand new thing. I mean, just the dogfighting alone is a skill that you have to, like, you'll never master because every situation is different. but you'll get better at what you're doing the more you play it. But you have to do it. You have to get your situational awareness, and that takes hours of playing the game and hours of just flying around seeing nothing, because a lot of it is just flying, looking around. Oh, I don't see anything in the sky. What's going on? And then like 30 seconds of like, where did this guy come from? Oh my god, I'm getting shot. I'm on fire. I'm dead. And then it's do it all over again until you get better. Now, it makes it easier and more fun really when you have a group of people to fly with, but you can do it alone. It's not the easiest thing to do, flying around alone on a populated server. You'll get pounced and you'll die lots and lots of times. But the more you play it, the the better you'll get. The more situational awareness you'll have to get that kill. And that first kill against a human pilot in another aircraft, like when it's a real dogfight, that is an accomplishment. Because not only have you learned to take that plane off and manage that plane systems in the air, but now you put rounds on target on another person. Because let's be honest, the AI, they're a bunch of idiots. There's nothing like flying against a human pilot in Cliffs of Dover or Battle of Stalingrad. I haven't really played War Thunder, but I mean I watch videos. Like, I don't think they can really compare, because you can go full realism on War Thunder, but I don't think it gives you the same feel as these other games give you. Being confined in a cockpit, all you can see is what you can see out your canopy. That's it. So if someone sneaks up behind you and gets into your blind spot, you're dead. Or you may not be dead, but you may be damaged to the point where now you can't maneuver away from them. And now you're just a sitting duck. And if you have friends around, trying to get them to figure out where the hell you are, to get them to come help you out while you nurse your ship back to friendly territory. All the while getting jumped by, 3, 4 other aircraft that came out of nowhere. But at the same time, you turn around and then you end up doing it to the other guy. And then when a sortie goes great, like, it's a great feeling. When you fly out and you get a kill and, you get back and everyone you took off with, they all come back alive with you. That's awesome. I It's my personal opinion that more people should give flight sims a chance. And once you get past the learning curve, because there is a learning curve, especially if you've never played flight sims before. A true flight sim has a learning curve. Once you get past that, it's some of the most fun you'll ever have. Even though it can be boring at times. That boring sets you up for the excitement. It gets your heart racing, it gets your palms sweating. If you haven't practiced, hard maneuver fighting, and you pull your stick too hard, oh crap, I just stalled my plane. Now I'm going down to the ground. That's what appeals to me. That's what makes me come back to these flight sims every single time. You see, the combat flight sims on my channel. I play other games. I just don't play them like I play flight sims. Because, after a while, those other games, they're the same thing over and over and over again. And it just kind of, my attention span is like, I want something to engage. I want something to immerse me. I want to be sitting in that cockpit. And everything I do changes settings in that cockpit. And I think some people think that, it costs a lot of money to play flight sims. You got to get a joystick, you got to get a head tracker, all this stuff. I have a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. It is $30. I've had it for 3 years. $30. They still make the damn thing, and it can do anything you want it to do in in pretty much any flight sim. You just have to configure the buttons. I do have Track IR. I didn't have it when I first started, and there are people who use mouse control to look around or the hat switch. Track IR makes it easier, but you can do it. You don't need these fancy rudder pedals that, everyone's talking about. I've got myself some rudder pedals because, a lot of my squad mates were talking about how they make the game feel better. It helps with the immersion. But you don't need them. You don't need them at all. You don't need all that fancy stuff. All you need is a joystick. Really. And you can buy one for $30. A good one that can do anything you want it to do. And most flight sims now, you know, the new ones coming out, besides IL-2, Battle of Stalingrad, all the little add-ons to that, like Cliffs of Dover, the Blitz edition's $24. That's it, $24. Now, mind you, it was released in 2011, but still, $24 for, an immersive game, an immersive experience that gives you hours and hours and hours and days of replayability because there's always something to learn. That's just my own personal opinion. And that's why I play flight sims. So, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll try to be live streaming as much as I can. I do work. I'm a store manager at Starbucks, so I work a lot. And even making this, it's 7:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I've been up since 3:30 this morning. But I wanted to make this video, and I had the motivation to make this video. And I really enjoyed doing this. So I thank y'all for y'all's support. Thanks for watching the video. If you stayed this long, man, I love you guys. And I will be seeing you guys later. Thanks for watching.